Old Sands car park at the southern end of Braunton Burrows, and we're going to have a look in a wet area, a wet slack where there's a bit of a pond, and try and find some newts. We've got all three species of newt here: the Great Crested Newt, the Smooth Newt and the Palmate Newt. And with this net, hopefully one of us will catch something, and then we can identify them and tell you what the differences are between them. Now the technique I usually use isn't too deep. It is pretty deep in there. You get down the bottom. See the flat on the dough? Just feel the bottom lightly and then bring it along like that, sweeping up all the gunge, creatures and what have you. And then you see what's in there. And I've got something, see there's something tiny wriggling there, but I'm not sure whether it could be a dragonfly nymph. Little thing there. But it's tiny. Later in the year things will be bigger and you'll be able to sort. This is the pond where we've found all three species of the English newts, the native newts. The top one on this chart is the Great Crested or warty newt, but it's protected, highly protected, and you need a license to disturb it. So if we catch one of these by accident in the net, we've got to let it go pretty quickly. It's a possibility. The other newt, which we'll find today probably, is the smooth or common newt. And you can see it's got a spotted belly in the male, quite bright orange, and also spots on the body and a bit of a crest on it. The commonest newt overall is the palmate newt, and we tell that one by the filament on the end of the tail with the male, and it's got webbed hind feet. But when something's down in the weeds and you can't see it properly, it can be difficult. The females are sometimes lighter coloured than this, and the difference between the two is that the palmate newt doesn't have any spots under the throat, but you've got to catch them to see the throat. So it's not always easy to tell the females apart. So we'll see if you can find us a newt in a minute, Jamie. Nice coloured belly, quite bright, and a bit of colour on its tail. Where's it gone?
Yeah, it's probably all the dust.
It's got all the detritus in it.
But there it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does look like in the corner there. Okay, have you got it? There's a dragonfly nymph. I don't know whether you can pick it up in the corner here. Older one. Yeah, I think that's still a...
Is that a dragonfly nymph?
Yes,
then?
Yeah, it's probably going to hatch, turn into a dragonfly this year, probably.
Hatch in a few weeks' time.
Just out of interest, what's your deal on an iPhone 12?
So what do they predate on then?
Younger dragonfly nymphs, tadpoles, water boatmen, other water insects. It's a predatory world in there. Everything's eating everything else.
So that thing's technically a cannibal?
It could be. I mean, they're programmed, if something's moving, it's going to have a go and see if it's edible.
Well, that's nice.
Bottom of the food chain, of course, are frog and toad tadpoles, or even newt tadpoles. Well, the frog and toad tadpoles are vegetarians. They feed on the algae, so everything eats them. Even the newts will eat the tadpoles. There's probably some water beetle nymphs in there, or younger stages as well. But all this stuff eats one another, and as the slack dries out, we just get a narrow pond in the middle. There's not going to be room for all this stuff. So it'll be survival of the nastiest ones, the biggest.
Hi, so we're out on the Braunton Burrows this evening and we will be going on a conservation experience, and this is to look at newts on a slack and pond.
Mate. You need to look at the throat because one's spotted and one isn't. This looks like a female smooth newt, that size. Full of eggs, by the looks of her swollen abdomen.
Catch and release. There you go.
Hey. One in my beam as well.
Oh, there's one, look.
Further out, yeah.
Can you see that one?
Oh yes. There.
Is that a Great Crested Newt?
Yes, yeah.
There's a female.
There's nothing else as big
It's
as
like
that.
a female, probably.
It hasn't got the crest, it's the female.
Yeah, that's a female. That's great. That's lovely.
I did that.
What's that there?
Going
Like a...
right. Doesn't look quite right for a tadpole. It looks like a
Where?
damselfly nymph.
There's
Yeah.
a dragonfly.
To the top.
There's a
There's a
off.
dragonfly
there's a
one there.
dragonfly
That's a dragonfly nymph.
one there.
But the one further out looked more like a damselfly nymph.
Yeah.
There's something in, I presume that's what
That's all water bait then.
Still a crest.